Hey, this is Spencer with Builder Funnel, and I was at a Remodelers Advantage Roundtable a few weeks ago, and a really interesting topic came up, and I thought I would just record a quick video to discuss that a little bit, and that was on qualified leads. So the approach that some of the people in the meeting were taking was that if a salesperson went out on an appointment, so a consultation, then that would be a qualified lead. And I made the argument that that's not a good way to, I guess, establish your criteria for a qualified lead, because let's take this scenario. You're super slow and you need any type of project you can get. So if you get a phone call and you're talking to somebody, even if that project is pretty small, you might still go out on the appointment because you need the work and you need the revenue. So let's take it on the flip side. Let's say you're super busy and you only want to take, bigger projects, larger projects, and so you don't go on some consultations that you might normally would have gone if things were steady or slower. So we don't want our criteria for a qualified lead to be dependent on how busy or how slow we are. So I think it's important that within that pre-phone or that phone pre-qualification checklist that you establish, is it budget or a budget range? Is it maybe the area that the prospect is in, so certain neighborhoods or zip codes, or maybe even it's the project type. And it could be a combination of those things, but you really need to sit down and establish, okay, here's our criteria for a qualified lead. It's going to be, at least $50,000 for project size. It's going to be a kitchen and a bath, and if it's outside of that, it's not a qualified lead, and it's in these specific zip codes. And you'll have your own set of criteria, but it's important that you define that so that marketing knows when they're successful and they've brought in, a certain number of qualified leads. And then sales can still make that judgment call, right? So if you're busy and you get a qualified lead, you guys as a team might decide, yes, this was a qualified lead, but we're not going to go out on that consultation today. Or things are really slow and you don't get a qualified lead, they're disqualified, but you still go out on it anyway because you need the revenue. It's still okay to make those judgment calls, but at least now you have a standard way of defining, we brought in X qualified leads. That allows you to compare year over year, month over month, and it also gives marketing the opportunity to identify, are we doing a good job on our end, or are we bringing in the right types of prospects, regardless of the business climate and how busy or slow you are. So I hope this really helps, and my takeaway for today is to sit down with marketing and sales and try to figure out what is, that criteria that makes up a qualified lead.